I'm Robert Lambert of the Silent Hill fan site Restless Dreams. Today is our first podcast, and joining me is Emmy from the Silent Hill Wiki.
Hi, you guys.
Hi. Hello. That is Emmy, as you might have guessed. You might have heard her before.
I'm Can I Eat Tacos from the Silent Hill Wiki and the Silent Hill Facebook page.
The Silent Hill Facebook page. If you haven't liked it, like it already. Anyhow, so, like I said, this is our first podcast. I'm Robert Lambert. As apart from being the Restless Dreams founder, I'm also the founder of the Silent Hill Theories Wiki and the chat moderator on the Silent Hill Wiki.
And so, I'm just a Silent Hill Wiki admin.
Yeah.
I don't really have that many adventures, I guess. Yeah.
Adventures. I don't know. Being an admin's adventure enough.
Yeah. I have a fun life. Get to tell people how to get out of the Silent Hill historical place, just a regular day.
I don't know how anyone could get lost in the Silent Hill Historical Society. It's kind of
there
one
are
route.
quite a few people. There are quite a few people. And, another question I've gotten, before was, how do you not touch Pyramid Head?
What?
Why would you want to touch Pyramid Head in the first place? Do you want to get killed? I don't know. Weird questions I get.
How do you not touch Pyramid Head?
I don't know. They said, why can't you touch Pyramid Head? And I'm like, well, unless you want to die.
Yeah, well, you see, I just kind of have an urge to touch him, It's like
maybe I'll put a Tumblr of all the weird questions I get as an admin one day.
Well, that would be quite cool, actually. But I'm still trying to fathom in my head how someone would touch Pyramid Head. It's kind of not nice, so I'm gonna stop thinking about it now. Until tonight, anyway, when I'm alone. So,
You do that, Rob.
Yeah, I will. So, alright, so I think I'm going to start with, what is our favourite Silent Hill game? So, Emmy, what is your favourite ever Silent Hill game?
If you've heard Whitney's podcast before, the Silent Hill Historical Sites podcast, I was part of that, and my favorite game is actually Silent Hill 4, because I really, really love Henry. And that game is just I don't know, I just really like the background and the story, but I don't find it to be as, one of the best games, but I do find it to be one of the greatest games, and I just love playing it, and it's the best.
Well, I thought you loved Vincent.
I do love Vincent. My favorite character out of the whole Silent Hill series is Vincent Smith. But, I liked, Henry a lot. And there's not a favorite character I actually have. I love all the characters. If you're a true fan, you kind of grow up and you don't have one specific fan, base, I guess. But Henry's a great character. Heather is a great character. They're all, you can't pick one. And,
yeah.
If I had to pick one, it'd be Vincent. Because, my admin page isn't filled with pictures of him, no. But, yeah, Silent Hill 4 is definitely one of my favorite games to play.
Well, we just recently had the poll, actually, and Vincent didn't even make it into the semi-finals.
Yeah, I heard. I voted for him, too.
Who was it he lost against? He lost against Harry Mason, which is kind of an obvious. Was it Harry Mason? Yeah.
Yeah, it was Harry Mason. I really love Vincent, but there's some better people. I'm just kidding. Vincent's the best.
Well, Vincent is an amazing character. It's just when you're up against protagonists like Harry Mason, James Sunderland, you're gonna lose.
The father has to lose sometimes, right?
True.
Yeah.
True. Well, I think as always, Heather is gonna win, or James, possibly. It's kind of.
So is it against Heather and James?
At the moment, no. There's 4 people who've gone into the semi-finals, which is Harry Mason, James Sunderland, Heather Mason, and Murphy Pendleton. Surprisingly.
Oh wow! All the protagonists. Oh.
So all the pro tags.
Great. I'm really curious as to who's gonna win.
Well, the next one up is Heather versus Harry Mason, so it's going to be father versus daughter. So
family rivalry. No, just kidding.
Yeah, so that'll be an interesting one.
Heather's a strong, independent woman who don't need no man.
She don't need no man. I don't need no man.
No.
And yeah, that means that Murphy's going to be taking on James Sunderland, which is going
Ooh. I mean,
gonna...
Murphy can use his rock, right?
Oh my god, the damn fine rock that is.
Yeah, that's one fine rock, girl.
So, yeah. Anyhow, my favourite game is kind of, not many people know about my favourite Silent Hill game. It's a little game called Silent Hill 2.
Oh, what game is that?
It's this game on the PlayStation 2. You play as this guy called James Sunderland who's...
Whoa, that's cool. I've never heard of that game before.
Yeah, it's...
Ever.
Not many people have heard of it, really.
I mean, I know Pyramid Head originates from Silent Hill Homecoming. Is
well,
Pyramid
yeah,
Head
totally.
Is he in this one too?
Oh, well, there's someone that kind of copied him, but...
Oh, well, that's a loser. I'm just kidding. I like, Silent Hill 2 is one of the greatest games, and, who is in the Silent Hill fandom and does not know or have never played Silent Hill 2? I mean, you just can't be in the fandom if you've never, actually played or, heard of or know the basis of Silent Hill 2. That's just unbelievable.
Yeah, I guess people probably haven't. I've probably heard of it, but I don't think everyone who's played Silent Hill 2
Not everyone's played.
Silent Hill 2.
There are some people in the fandom who, they just like the movies or,
Yeah.
But personally, if you really want to have a great game to play, Silent Hill 2 is really great. I mean, that was the first game I've ever played in my entire life of Silent Hill, and I grew into a awesome fan because of it, and,
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people who've seen the films but not played the games, which is totally fine. I mean, but it'd be cool if they kind of transferred into the games and whatnot.
Yeah, especially if you know the stories of the game compared to the movies, that's a big difference, and Silent Hill, the fandom is really big, and we have all types of things. You can be a fan of, the movies, the comics, the games. There's so many possibilities, and it's really great to see, people be fans of certain things. I mean, I even know a few people who have never seen the movie or the game, have played the games, and they're a fan of the comics. And you know how the comics go down.
That's kind of unusual. I wouldn't have expected that to be quite.
Yeah, there's actually quite a few people who like the comics, and I'm like, oh, well, most of the, fandom doesn't really like the comics, but that's great. And I mean, I read one of the comics before, and I thought it wasn't that bad, but personally, it's really good that we have fans that come from all over the place of Silent Hill.
Yeah, I wouldn't have expected people to just have liked the comics, to be quite honest. That's kind of an unusual one for me, but that's pretty cool, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm guessing some people probably read the books as well and not played the games.
Oh yeah, but it's rare.
I've never read the books actually. I don't know why.
Well, maybe mostly because they're in Japanese, but
there is some. I believe there's some fan translations of them.
I've read half of the Silent Hill book, and I was intrigued, and then it was really good. But then I had other plans, sadly, and I never got to finish it. But hopefully, I'll finish it up one day.
I just think it's because I'm lazy. I'd rather just sit with a controller in my hand and just play Silent Hill 2 or something like that.
I know what I'm doing after this. I'm gonna play Silent Hill.
Well, yeah.
When is there a day in my life where I don't pick up a controller and think to myself, what game should I play? Oh, Silent Hill.
Yeah.
Silent Hill is always incorporated into my life, whether I'm walking down the street and it's a foggy day and I see a mannequin running up towards me.
I severely hope not.
No, there's legit mannequins. I live in Silent Hill. Don't you know that, Rob?
No.
If you look at the Facebook posts, all my Facebook posts are from Silent Hill. I legitimately live in, no, just kidding. But I actually do.
They've moved on. They've got internet connection there now, have they?
Yeah, I live in Silent Hill, and I get all this cool internet connection. Happy Burger, it's still closed, but
fuck's sake.
They're trying to get a drive-through, and I'm like, whoa. That's awesome.
Well, they totally need to reopen Happy Burger because I'm fed up of going to McDonald's now.
Yeah, I'm so fed up with choosing which place I want to go. It's like, do I want to eat Mexican? Do I want to eat McDonald's? No, I want to eat Happy Burger.
Well, the best is that pizza place that Eddie got his pizza from. That
Oh,
place is
yeah, that place is really good.
Yeah. But Happy Burger, I've been waiting for a while for it to reopen, seriously, but it's just...
Personally, I mean, I think Happy Burger would take over the world if they reopened.
Yeah, totally.
I mean,
Totally.
I've never actually had a taste of their burgers, but I'd go eat there every day if I could.
Well, I remember Dahlia Gillespie was quite a big fan.
Really?
Yeah.
I also heard...
James Sunderland commented on it when he went to Silent Hill 2 to find his dead wife.
Oh, like, I also heard that they have, like, a special ingredient in their burgers, like, I don't know what it's called, but, like, MCM or something, like, I don't know, I heard they had, like, something in it that, like, made their burgers really good, and...
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope they open soon.
Yeah.
I'll make sure to notify everyone in the world. Like,
I mean,
Facebook and whatnot,
yeah.
Open, so.
Just can't wait.
No, I can't wait either. But I'm really hungry now. So I'm gonna stop. We gotta stop talking about food. Okay, so yeah, that's our favorite games. So yeah, I want to talk about the film a little. I don't want to get too much into this because we could be here all day.
Yeah, and plus many people have already talked about the film.
Yeah,
multiple times.
It's kind of a dead donkey now. Everyone's just beating it. But it has to be said. What do you think of the film? And I'm talking about Silent Hill Revelation 3D.
What do I think of it?
Well, what did you think of it? Do you rate it or?
Personally, I thought it was a great movie. I loved the Easter eggs, but I'm not gonna say it was the best movie I'd seen. I mean, I personally, out of the two movies that the Silent Hill series has made, I like the first one better. I've seen that one in theaters. I thought that was great. I mean, I've seen both of them in theaters, but I personally like the first one. Revelations was great for possibly new fans, but it wasn't something like a great movie to go see. Like, I know, what's that movie called? Evil Dead or something that's coming out.
Yeah.
And they're having...
isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is. I know a few people are excited to see that. And I mean, that's something that gets people getting into series. And Silent Hill wasn't that big of a boom for people. So, of course, not many people got into it because of not the great, scene. I'm pretty sure that nobody really wants to go see another guy rip off skin off a girl next to a church. I mean, I would, but...
Well, that was an interesting scene.
I mean, that's my favorite scene.
I'm sure it's everyone's favorite scene. I'm sure it's definitely a family viewing experience.
Yeah, I mean, if I had a child, I'd make them watch that scene over and over again.
Yeah.
But I personally like the first Silent Hill better. It had a great feel, and for other people, what I'm not so happy about is that we were told that it's gonna be a Silent Hill 3, and it ended up becoming a new Silent Hill, and that's not what I liked.
Well, I don't know, because I mean, I don't know what you're taking on this, but if I went to the cinema and saw a film of a game I've already played, then there'd be no
I expect it to be good.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was, yeah, I get what you mean.
The trailers that we were shown, I felt like when I first saw the trailer for Revelations, I was like, oh, this looks good. And then more, scenes came out, featurettes came out, and I'm like, uh-oh, this is, not something that Silent Hill would make. And so then I realized that, it's gonna be a new Silent Hill, and it's not gonna be Silent Hill 3. And I mean, personally, I don't think you could ever make a great Silent Hill fan based off one game. I mean, everyone has different views and ideas of how one Silent Hill game should be played. And I mean, some people think, spoiler alert for anyone who's not played Silent Hill 2, but if you or a fan, you've probably known this. But like, some people think that James's like wife is in the back of the car. Other people think she's still alive, and some people just, you can't really make a film that so many people in the world based off of. I mean, you can make a film and say, well, I want to make a Silent Hill fan and use the in-water ending.
Yeah, that would be kind of a big problem.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean...
And so many people would be like, no, I don't like the in-water ending. No, that's not what I think. And so many people have interpretations about how each game should go, and just making a good movie out of one specific game would be a whole new hassle, because as some people have seen from Revelations, Vincent is not a Father Vincent, if you know what I mean.
Well, true. They completely portrayed the character of Vincent in the film wrong.
I mean, and sometimes you could also, like, how do you say, I know a lot of people who have said certain things about movie, like, oh, there should be cosplayers instead of like the actual people, and I'm just like, well, just because some people can't get certain movies, we all think people look different. Like Vincent, so many people like the new movie Vincent, and then so many people as me, liked Father Vincent, which is, the original Vincent that, Heather meets in the other world. And so it's such a big, weird story that you never actually understand what's happening in Silent Hill until possibly the end of it, or in another game, perhaps. And so I never really think when people say that there's going to be a movie that it's going to be exactly like the Silent Hill game, because obviously everyone has different interpretations of how the game is meant to play and how they view it.
True. And I mean, at the end of the day, you shouldn't really be expecting the Silent Hill film to be anything like Silent Hill 3 anyway, because, like you said, people interpret it differently. Going back to a point that you said, though, about Mary's body in the car, in James's car. Right? Apparently,
Yeah.
according to Masashi Ito, that Mary's body is actually on the back seat of James's car. So
On the backseat, or do you mean in the trunk?
well, this is exact tweet word for word. The Mary's body is on the back seat of James's car, not in the trunk. However, he does state, if I remember correctly, so it's kind of not 100% confirmed.
Yes.
But even so, that doesn't necessarily impact what the ending could be. I know everyone's either a firm believer of In Water or Leave or, Maria. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
it's what you personally feel should be the ending. And yeah, if you make a film about Silent Hill 2, then you're going to have to choose an ending, and I think that could potentially annoy a lot of viewers.
Yeah, and the fact that, for instance, Revelations did not end. It was more like a cliffhanger, and it was telling people, oh, it's going to go on. But right now, at this point, Silent Hill fans have no clue if, it might go on or if it might not. And, I mean, there were there's actually 3 possibilities for the next Silent Hill. So there were 3 cliffhangers in Revelations. First of all, Harry going to find Rose, was that her name? Yeah. And going to find her in Silent Hill. That could be another one. Then we also saw that Heather and Vincent went off with Vincent. Not Vincent, excuse me, sorry.
Vincent?
Travis. Sorry. Yeah, they went off with Vincent. They went off with Travis. And we could finally see what could happen with Vincent, Heather, and Travis going off. And then the last scene, or like the last thing you see before the movie ends, is Murphy's police truck.
Yeah.
So there's possibility of 3, movie characters, or it could be all in one, but just saying those are the major cliffhangers that we have seen in Revelations.
You see, if they were going to make another Silent Hill film, I would prefer it if they didn't base it off any of the games and just went for an original storyline in Silent Hill. So,
Yeah.
because, I mean, you're going to get fans getting annoyed about, oh, this isn't how Murphy Pendleton is portrayed, and God forbid if they ever did a Silent Hill 2 movie, which would probably be,
Yeah.
the fan base would probably just have an aneurysm, then,
I'm
that, just make it original. Just create a
Yeah,
new
like for
protagonist.
instance, I know a blog post that was on our what's it called, forums. It was saying how Shutter Island is a great movie and how it should have been Silent Hill based. I mean, if you go off something like that, that's a great like thing to do. And I mean, sometimes you could also include Easter eggs. I
Hmm.
mean, that's a great idea. There are Easter eggs in pretty much all of the games for even not things a part of Silent Hill. Like the wheelchair in Silent Hill 3 is part of Session 9. So I
Yeah.
mean, there's all these kinds of Easter eggs, and it'd be really cool because I know a lot of fans such as myself enjoy Easter eggs, and I mean, I get really excited. Like when Murphy's truck came at the end of Revelations, I was so excited. Like I was like, oh my gosh. And, other people are like, oh, they shouldn't have included Murphy. But personally for me, I love Easter eggs. And if you include Easter eggs to one of my favorite things, you're probably gonna have, a good reaction from me.
True, but I mean, if they made a film about Murphy Pendleton, I mean,
Then they'd have to get Anne and all these other people, and it wouldn't be too good. And I mean,
if
personally,
it was done right, maybe it would be good. But I mean,
and then again, it comes back to the realization that everyone has different ideas of, what is right. And then if they did do Downpour, you'd have to include the boogeyman and,
yeah.
who is the boogeyman? And that's kind of
Well,
like the question.
they would probably just throw Pyramid Head in again and just say, some other boring
And
shit about him.
then, yeah, instead of boogeyman, we'd have Pyramid Head and all that fun stuff.
Hey, Pyramid Head doesn't get used enough these days.
Yeah, no, like, I mean, Pyramid Head's not included in every single thing we've made for the past 3 years, except for Downpour. I mean,
True.
no.
I really like Downpour as a game. I thought it was probably one of the best of the Western release Silent Hills. It was really good.
Downpour sounds, I haven't personally played it yet because I do not have a PS3 or, a capable,
Have you not got a 360 or anything like that?
no, sadly not, but hopefully I'll invest in one and I can continue, but I've seen multiple Let's Plays and I've actually played them before, not the
Yeah.
full version, but I've played them before on my friends and I was like, oh hey, I can play this. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, what did you do? Even though you haven't played it, well, I mean, you have a little, but I mean, did you like it or?
I've played part of Downpour and I enjoyed it a lot. And I mean, for me, I personally like PS2 controllers and how it's so easy to move them. And then when you get to, PS3, you got like a whole new thing. And you're like, oh shoot, how do I move it? It's just a basic fact. But I mean, what I've played from Downpour and Homecoming, and I've played a bit of Book of Memories. It was, yeah, they're fun games. And I mean, if you put a Silent Hill game in my hands, of course I'll enjoy it, but I won't always say it's the best plot.
Well, no, I mean, I'm not saying that Downpour is like the best plot ever of the Silent Hill
Oh,
game.
well,
I'm just
yeah,
saying
of course.
it's probably one of the better Western games I've played. I mean,
Oh, yeah, I
obviously
totally agree on that. And Downpour was, as what I've played, I've gotten to the boat scene before. It was,
wow,
yeah,
that's quite far.
yeah, let's just say, if you put a Silent Hill game in my hand, you're not gonna let go of me for a while. But yeah, I've enjoyed it, and, hopefully I'll get to play the full game one day, and life would be good.
Well, I mean, you're not far from finishing it by the sounds of it, because if you were at the boat scene, you've only really got one more area to do,
Yeah.
and then you're at the end. So, but yeah, I really like Downpour. I mean, it had its problems for me. I mean, the biggest problem for me was the monster design was a little bit,
The doll was very...
The doll was awesome. It was just the rest of them just felt a little bit, half-arsed, like the design. I just really didn't care for them.
I agree.
The doll, though, when I first saw it doll, which for me was in the Centennial Building, which is the really dark library archives place. Oh, I don't know if you remember that. That was kind of pretty fucking creepy. But like the prisoner minions and stuff like that, they just really didn't bother me that much. I think it's because they were too human, as opposed to designs in the past where monsters have been kind of uncanny human, but a little bit odd. These are just kind of a little bit too human for my liking, and it didn't work very well. So
Yeah.
Oh, and
I agree.
the overworld chase sequence, I did not like that at all.
The void, you mean?
Well, yeah, the entire overworld sequence was essentially you running away from a red ball.
I guess well, everyone knows this. It was possibly against the Silent Hill 3, you know, in the haunted mansion.
Borley Haunted Mansion, yeah.
Yeah, Borley Haunted Mansion.
But I mean...
They shouldn't have done that because, I mean, though you're scared of the Borley Haunted Mansion mist, it wasn't the same effect for Downpour.
Well, yeah, I mean, the Borley Haunted Mansion thing was only a short, 2-minute segment anyway.
And
it wasn't the entire game.
Yeah, it was just like, but that, part of Downpour, that was not something I enjoy. And, I mean, you know...
Well, it's because it encompassed the entire overworld sequence. Like, in the rest of the games, we got to explore at our own pace. But this, we were just running through a zone and then trying to escape. And I don't know, some people might have liked that feel, but I kind of didn't like that at all.
I didn't like it either. And I mean, I agree with what you said. Some fans like to join around and go around, and that was possibly one of my favorite things too.
That's what I mean. I mean, half the time in Silent Hill games, it's all about exploring your environment and seeing what... Because, I mean, there's so much stuff going on. It's insane.
And then, yeah, I enjoy it when creators put great deal of detail into certain things. And you know, you can actually take your time. But when you're running from a mist void, you know, then that kind of gets lazy and you're just basically running. And running's never fun in a Silent Hill game.
It was a poor design choice. It's a chase sequence. I mean, yeah, we've had chase sequences before. We had a chase sequence in Silent Hill 2, kind of, which was the whole pyramid scene where you're running away from him with Maria. And then you have obviously the Borley Haunted Mansion one. But I mean, they were so short that it wasn't. I mean, in Downpour, it's like half the game is running away from a red ball. And it's just kind of like, just stop it. So
yeah, I totally agree. And I mean, you also got, as you just mentioned, like the Pyramid Head thing too in Silent Hill 2, and you know, it was fun. But running away from a whole thing, you know, that's never fun.
The Pyramid Head thing was fun unless you played it on hard and you had to shoot him to slow down Maria, and then Maria would get in the way, and then you'd shoot Maria. Which was always great, especially when you're doing a 10-star playthrough and you keep shooting Maria. It's not cool.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, that's pretty much. We were talking about the film and then we just sidetracked.
Whatever.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, the film for me.
Oh, we're going back to the film now.
Well, I just want to. Well, the thing for the film for me was. They had a great cast. You know, they had Sean Bean, they had, they had Adeline Clemens, they had,
I wasn't too fond of,
the chick from The Matrix.
Kit Harington.
You didn't like Kit Harington? You see, I like him in Game of Thrones.
Well, it's Game of Thrones and there's a difference.
True. I mean, I think the actors they got were good. It's just that the script they gave the actors was just terrible. And that's kind of why they just came across pretty crap. I mean, the special effects in that film were pretty darn awesome, but I mean, I don't usually watch
the makeup job as some of the people who know me, I do makeup special effects, and I'm pretty sure, I think they won an award, but the special effects used in Silent Hill Revelations was terrific, and that was some of the best I've ever seen. And I mean, I've seen some horror movies where the special effects are kind of like, I mean, now in 2013, where the special effects are kind of like, oh. But Silent Hill Revelations was one of the best.
Well, yeah, I mean, but you can't kind of sum up the film alone on just the special effects. That doesn't make it a good movie. It's just,
Yeah.
it's more of, it's kind of like graphics in video games. I mean, if you've got this, you have to get the story and the characters down first before you even start thinking about the graphics. If you start thinking about the graphics first, but just, especially if it's a story-driven game and then add the story on later, the game's going to look nice, but it's going to suffer for it because you have a crap story. And that's kind of how the film was for me. It looked nice, it had cool settings, you know, it had decent actors. Problem was, terrible script, terrible storyline, absolutely atrocious ending. I don't even know what they were doing with that whole pyramid frigging fight. So, yeah. I don't, you might have guessed that I don't really like the film. So... The first film was good, though. I liked the first film quite a lot, actually. But yeah.
I don't know anyone who is not a fan of the big first Silent Hill.
I don't know. I think if you go around the twin... Well, I'm not going to mention it, but the elitist fans of our community, you'll probably get some that don't like any of the films.
Yeah, I agree. But you still have, like, some things, and
Well, this, funny enough, I mean, moving on from the Silent Hill film, actually, and actually onto the films. I don't know if you've seen it, but this week I recorded something called the Silent Hill Fan Rage. Have you seen this yet? Have you managed to check this out?
No.
Okay, so yeah,
I haven't seen this. What?
So yeah, on my YouTube channel, I've started to put together something called the Silent Hill Fan Rage, which is kind of a history of the Silent Hill fandom in general, going from the first games all the way up to the modern day sort of fan wars. And yeah, I've kind of started with the first games this week, and I'm just hoping to I'm working on the Silent Hill 4 now, because I don't know if you know, but when Silent Hill 4 came out, the community was kind of like it is today with Silent Hill 4. Everyone was cut down the middle and just on each other.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of people don't know that, because I mean, a lot of people probably haven't been in the Silent Hill 4 wars before, and it was kind of not as terrible as it is today. Because to be fair, nowadays
it's not as terrible as it was when it first came out. But
what was it that you dropped? Was it this precious gold pipe?
Hey everybody, sorry about that. We had some technical difficulties there. So yeah, getting back on topic, we were talking about the Silent Hill 4 fandom and how in the past it's kind of how it was today, with people being split down the middle and just generally bickering quite a lot. I mean, it's not as bad as it was today, because I mean today it's just people being really retarded and shit.
Yeah.
But I mean, you'd be a fool to think that the Silent Hill fan base has, in the past, with the Team Silent games, always agreed, because, to be fair, even from the start, as soon as Silent Hill 2 came out, people have been at each other's necks since then. Probably not as bad as today, but it's been there. So yeah, you need to check out the Silent Hill fan rage, Emily. You really need to check it out.
I will. Like, after this, I'm gonna go play some Silent Hill and then go watch that.
Well, I mean, like I was saying, like, there's the intro sequence is me running around like a mad buffoon around my room, and kind of a lot of people thought
that's what I want to see.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what a lot of people saw, in fact, that they saw the first 10 seconds and kind of judged me on that. So I kind of feel bad for putting that in, because most people who've seen that now are just going to think I'm some kind of idiot. And to some degree, they're right, I am kind of an idiot. But, I mean, some people were commenting on Twitter, like who I follow, and I'm talking like kind of high-profile Silent Hill people, and they were just saying, they were comparing my videos to like Twin Perfect and how the editing isn't as good as a Twin Perfect video. And I was like, that was kind of the whole point. The intro sequence is me acting like an idiot, kind of emphasizing how stupid the Silent Hill fandom gets and how amateur it is. And they didn't kind of convey that the amateurishness of it was essentially a dig at the fandom. But I'm not going to mention names. They probably know who they are if they're listening. And I had a kind of a very nice Twitter debate with said person, because they didn't know who recorded that video, and it was the fan page Restless Dreams. So be careful what you say on Twitter, because I will be watching you. Even when you sleep on Twitter, I will be watching you.
Yeah,
So,
trust me. I've been friends with Rob for years now, and that's something. Yeah, I'm not gonna go into that.
yeah. So, if you haven't checked out the Silent Hill Fan Rage, part one's on my YouTube channel now. If you'll see the intro, but don't judge the intro. Don't judge the book by its cover, because as soon as you listen to it, it'll be me kind of divulging in some details the Silent Hill fandom from my perspective, as I've been a fan since the first game, so I've kind of been around the alley and the blocks and whatnot. But yeah, check it out on YouTube and all that Shazam. So yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that out.
So moving on, I'm gonna go back to Twitter. I don't know if you know, Emmy, but I'm kind of
A big deal?
No, I'm not a big deal. I have 142 followers.
Wow, you're a big deal.
It's kind of shit, but I spend most of my time stalking Masahiro Ito. In fact, and he's recently just been. I don't know if you've seen on the Silent Hill wiki actually a massive debate about a certain image. Well, I don't know if you've seen the closer image. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah, I have. I saw that and I was like, wow.
Holy crap. Well, essentially he posted on his Twitter, I think it was 4 days ago, an image of the closer, and it had this text on it. It was Japanese writing, I believe, and it was translated as Lotus Sutra. So me being the theorist I was, shoved this on the wiki, and people went nuts on it. And I mean, this is kind of going back to an earlier point when we were discussing about the details of Silent Hill. This is how detailed Silent Hill is. This was a message on the head of a monster which I have never seen before, and I don't think anyone would see when playing the game. This is a message on a monster, and I looked into it today, and I spent 5 hours researching everything about this message, and I came up with this in-depth theory about just this message on the head of a closer. And this is something most players won't see, and it's just insane. You could spend your entire life looking at details in this game. I mean, oh my god, I literally, it basically, essentially, to sum it up, it was kind of go into details somewhat a bit more about reincarnation and Heather's awakening to her past and whatnot. But I mean, I was having kind of a little Twitter rant with Ito, because I was kind of asking him what the significance of this is. But Ito kind of likes to keep things secret, so every time I was getting a bit closer to the edge, he kept saying, it's a secret. It's a secret.
You know?
And essentially I came up with, I asked him a question, and he just keeps saying, it's a secret. And
Secret?
It's just getting to the point now where I want to cry. He just doesn't want to tell anything, which is a good thing, I guess. But yeah, so it's just insane. This is just a message on a monster's head, and it's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
So
I agree, and I find those things really cool. If you see something that's kind of you don't really see it, and then someone tells you, and it's like, whoa. That's really cool.
Well, I mean, this is kind of new stuff, because I mean, not a lot of people before have seen really high-res close-up images of monsters.
And plus, it's usually dark when you have a closer.
Well, yeah, you kind of don't look around. You don't come here closer. Can you just come down a little so I can see the top of your head? You don't usually do that in Silent Hill 3. So. And I mean, this is a marking on a monster which kind of opened up a new perspective to the meaning behind the closer that I don't think I would have ever comprehended in the past. And this is what I love about Silent Hill, and this is why I like Ito as well, because he kind of divulges a lot of information every so often to keep us kind of entertained, really.
Yeah.
And I love that. I mean, people say, yeah, maybe you're looking too much into these sort of things, but you know what? Screw you. I love looking into things like this. It's kind of what I like to do. So I love Twitter and I love Ito.
Don't you know?
Yeah. So, but he loves to keep things secret, even if you might be getting to the answer. He's like, nope, not gonna confirm that. So yeah, I don't know. I just thought I'd put Twitter in there because that's been kind of a big deal for me in Silent Hill this week. Is the tweet from Ito. So yeah,
that's really interesting, though. That's I've never seen that, and then when you shared it to me, and I was like, holy crap.
Well, I mean, I think I kind of did a quick search of some of the forums and that, and it seems like no one's actually ever seen it. I don't know if people have seen it before. I know I haven't. And it's just the problem with the message, the engraving on the head of the closer. There was two separate engravings. In fact, there was the Japanese wording, the character one, which is actually a Buddhist chant, which is it's a chant in order to awaken to whatnot, or to the path of enlightenment. And I looked into all that. But also there is 6 individual scratches across the head, and I was like, most people would think, oh yeah, it's just a scar or whatnot. But I kind of was like, is this some kind of double meaning? So I asked Ito, and he was like, yep. And I was like, oh great, so now we have 2 meanings to this complicated thing on the head of a closer. And I was toying with the idea of it being Roman numerals, because it was kind of looked like the Roman numeral for 7. And I don't know if you know, but 7's quite a big number in Silent Hill 3, because the age difference between Heather, Cheryl, and Alessa, each one's 7 years older than the other. So Cheryl's 7 years older than Heather, and Alessa's 7 years older than Alessa. And the number 7 itself is kind of a big deal in religion. It's like the number of perfection, and in Buddhism, much to my surprise, is actually in also regards to enlightenment, which kind of goes back to the original message. So today I've just been having an actual kind of brain like collapse half the time trying to figure this out. So yeah.
That's really interesting. I've never known that before.
Well, yeah, I mean, I wrote like a massive theory today on the wiki, trying to highlight these sort of bits and bats. And this is just from the head of a closer, guys, you know? This is from the head of a closer. This isn't an ending, this isn't a character, this is an engraving on the head of a monster. So, you know, next time we might see the engraving on the arse of a double head. I don't know. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
on the arse of a double head is this meaning. Oh, interesting. So...
It's always fun to learn new things that the Silent Hill, you know, series has.
Well, yeah. I actually kind of stumbled across them today doing this. It's kind of a separate... It kind of brought a lot of things to my attention in Silent Hill 3, in fact. And one of the biggest things that has always been bugging me is this idea of... When Alessa and Cheryl were born, I mean, to a lot of people that's not really a big deal. But I kind of started to look into this today quite a lot. Now, essentially, I've kind of possibly knocked down the date for the exact birth date of both Alessa and Cheryl from the tweet that Ito sent today, just from that, because I've been researching it. I don't know if you want me to go into that, but...
Yeah, but but as you mentioned before, there's so many things that the Silent Hill series has not discovered yet of the games. And like, even, Silent Hill 3 has been out for, how many years? Few years.
Good few years. When's the exact... Was it in year 2000, Silent Hill?
About...
No, it wasn't. It was...
13, 12, 11. Sorry, I don't have the... No, it's like...
I'm not...
I mean, either. But think about how long,
2003.
Yeah. And, think about how long it's been. And it's like, wow.
Yeah.
And recently, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, we figured out that these closers have, that's really cool.
Engraving on the head, which if you've read the amount of stuff that I've gone into, there's quite a lot of emphasis on the whole story as well. So it's not like a little sort of a minor addition. This is kind of a big deal. So I don't know if it's correct or not, but it's all kind of pointing towards this massive theory, really. So yeah, and I mean, like you said, this is a game that's been out for 11 years now, or 10 years, I think, 2003, 10 years. And people are still getting new information from it.
That's a really cool thing, though.
Yeah, definitely. That is really cool. I mean, Ito regularly posts stuff on his Twitter. He really kind of gets to grips with the community. He likes to sort of shed light on new stuff that we probably didn't know about before, which is really cool because he's probably one of the only people from the old Team Silent crew who kind of does this. So the rest of them either don't speak English very well or don't have an internet presence at all. So
Yeah, and I find that to be one of the coolest things.
definitely. It would be cool to speak with the other guys, but like I said, most of them don't have Twitter or don't want to interact with the community or, don't speak English. So, which is kind of a problem, but Ito speaks English, so that's always useful. So,
Yeah.
but, yeah. So,
I find that to be cool, though.
what?
And it's always fun to find new things.
Yeah, definitely. Well, like I was kind of getting at, I was looking into the birthday of Alessa and Cheryl today, because of this theory and whatnot. Now, I don't know if you know this, but there's a few articles in Silent Hill 4 that kind of help to determine when Alessa and Cheryl could have been born.
Yeah.
Do you know this? Do you know which ones they are?
No, I don't know which one they are, but I know of that.
Well, essentially there are two major articles that are in Silent Hill 4 which also cross-reference into 3. The first is, do you remember Joseph's article which featured in the Wish House one, which was changed in Silent Hill 3 to be the Hope House? Well, it wasn't changed, it was originally that. That initially links the two games together, but there is a segment of the Red Diary, which is, I don't know if you know, but from Silent Hill 4, which I'm sure you do, which is is also written by Joseph, but essentially it is dated April the 8th, and it mentions one very important line, which is quite simple. Although the cult is gone. Now, I'm guessing if he's saying the cult is gone, and he, from the his original article, was kind of tracking the cult in general, which would mean he was keeping tabs on Claudia and Vincent and whatnot, then that means that the events of Silent Hill 3 must have occurred before April the 8th.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's going closer to what could possibly their birthday.
Well, yeah, but there's something else as well. In Silent Hill 3, this is kind of a dodgy one though. I don't know if you remember, there's a newspaper in the station. You know, the one about the suicide? Which is dated, it says, at 11 p.m. on the 4th. Now, one would assume that is the 4th of April.
Yes.
So that would determine that because the happy birthday caller rings up Heather to wish her happy birthday, that the date of birth for both Alessa and Cheryl is between the 4th and the 8th, or the 4th and the 7th, actually.
Yeah.
Which means that they were born in spring, either the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, or the 7th.
Really?
Yes.
That's really cool. You have so much time on your
Well,
hands.
I do have a lot of time on my hands, and also it couldn't have been April the 5th because Silent Hill 3 is set over at least 2 days, because the first sequence is up to Harry, and then the second day is in Silent Hill. So it's probably limited between April the 6th to April the 7th.
Wow. Rob, you're giving me so much information. Can't take all of it. But yeah, that is something that I found really cool. I didn't know that until you just told me, and that's something that I think fans could really.
Well, it doesn't end there, because essentially, even you've got probably April the 5th, April the 6th, April the 7th to choose from. I don't know if you remember what I mentioned earlier, but there is a lot of emphasis on the number 7. And, well, it kind of would make sense if they were born on April the 7th. So that is kind of what I've been working with, that both Cheryl and Alessa.
So basically we just missed their birthday a few days ago.
Essentially, yeah. So a week ago we were celebrating Cheryl and Alessa's birthday, most likely.
Happy birthday!
But we weren't celebrating Heather's because
Oh, man.
I don't know if you know, but in Silent Hill 1, Harry specifically states that it was Cheryl's birthday a month before the events of Silent Hill 1. And we
Yeah,
know from Silent
we
Hill
all
1
know
that
that.
Heather was born in Silent Hill 1, which means that Heather was not celebrating her birthday till probably around May the 7th.
So then Silent Hill 3 starts on.
Well, Silent Hill 3 would start in April because, I mean, that's Alessa and Cheryl's birthday because the happy birthday caller rings them up, right? And wishes her
Oh,
a
yeah.
happy birthday. So on that day would probably be April the 7th. And if you remember, Heather herself says, but it's not my birthday. Do you remember? She's confused because
Yeah.
her birthday is probably a month later.
Yeah, she's just like, what?
What's even more confusing is if her birthday is a month later, then she wouldn't be 17, she would be 16. So why the hell did the guide say she's 17?
Well, she could be 17.
How?
That's a good question.
If Silent Hill 1 said that Cheryl was 7 a month before the events of Silent Hill 1, it's mentioned in the game, and Heather was born in the events of Silent Hill 1, then that means that she would be at least, 3 to 4 weeks younger than Cheryl and Alessa. Well, not younger, but they would have their birthday on a few weeks after, which means that in the events of Silent Hill 3, she would be 16. So I'm confused, as always.
Well, this also goes back to the theory that there's many wonderful, things we don't even know about Silent Hill. And so, as time progresses, maybe we'll actually figure out if, it's Cheryl and Heather's birthday, or what's it called? Sorry, Cheryl and Alessa's. Sorry. But, sorry. But, yeah, that goes to a great point. And, I mean, you've been working on this for, days now, weeks, months, year?
Well, not on this particular theory. This theory just came, this theory came to light today.
Yeah, but, I meant as in theories.
For a long time. Not so much on Silent Hill 3, though. I don't focus enough on Silent Hill 3, mainly because the problem I have with Silent Hill 3 when it comes to theories is there is a lot of emphasis on religion, and they draw a lot from, current religions such as Christianity and Buddhism and stuff like that. And I kind of find it hard to try and use these external information and try and explain it with theories in Silent Hill 3. Whereas in Silent Hill 2, there's less influence, albeit there's some from these world religions, and it's more about the kind of the person's psyche and whatnot. So I prefer to kind of theorize about Silent Hill 2. That's not to say I don't like theorizing about Silent Hill 3. I just find it much harder.
Yeah.
So, and I love theories. Like I said, I created the theories wiki. So.
Are you gonna include theories on Restless Dreams?
Well.
Or are you just going to leave them all back at?
Well, I mean,
the theories.
Currently, since we're getting on topic of Restless Dreams anyway, we might as well just go into it. At the moment, with the website, which is due for release next week on the 20th of April, which is one day before my birthday, by the way.
Oh, yay! Happy birthday, Rob!
That's going to be live on the 20th of April. It currently has no ties to the Silent Hill Theories Wiki, but I want to implement it, and I don't know how yet. So.
Alright.
Yeah.
So explain to us a little about. Oh wow, I feel like I'm taking over. But
you kind of are. You're asking the questions now.
What? Can I not do that?
You can do that. Only Emmy can do that, though. Only Emmy's allowed. No.
Only Emmy. So, what do you plan to do on the Silent Hill Restless Dreams?
Well, as it currently stands, Restless Dreams in its most basic format is kind of just a community-driven site in a sense. A lot of the content I have up at the moment is I've got various pieces of fan art. There's a mod for Silent Hill on there. What else is there? There's going to be some cosplaying images.
Ooh, maybe I'll be in
Maybe.
there.
I have one at the moment, which is very good. I need a couple more to start that page up. And mainly at the moment, I have every single one of my images up from the Silent Hill games that I've taken, which is around 700 images of Silent Hill, which is quite a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And of course there is links to my Let's Play Silent Hill 2, which I'm kind of started, but I've not got very far with. I just heard myself then.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. My computer loves me. Okay, sorry.
Okay now?
Keep going.
There we go.
Yes.
So yeah, we have my Let's Play, and I'm going to be putting up this is how I introduce the Silent Hill fan rage. I go, the Silent Hill fan rage!
I'm gonna go watch that after.
It's kind of boring. Maybe, I shouldn't have said that because people won't watch it now. Shit. It's just some British guys moaning about the fandom, which is kind of original because he's a British guy.
When do you not moan about the fandom, Rob? What is this?
Well, you see, I love the Silent Hill fan base, but I'm not just saying that those who go on about, Team Silent is the best games ever, but you've also got those kind of people who love every single Silent Hill game and argue with you if you have an opinion on them. And they're kind of as bad as these people who are really kind of, anything after Silent Hill 4 is shit. The people who actively go against you if you even mention anything against any of the games, regardless if they're made by Team Silent or whatnot, even the films, they get all hysterical about it, like, you're just like, a true fan doesn't moan about all this. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up. I haven't,
Yeah, I mean, even if you're a true fan, if you look into the Silent Hill world, there are always people complaining. I mean, I complain. I can tell you that as a fact. You complain. There's never gonna be one fandom where someone's not complaining. And I mean, okay, well, that's great if you're one of those fans that never complain. But there's always going to be other people. For instance, I know I complained about Revelations when it first came out. I was complaining a lot because I was telling people, hey, it's not actually Silent Hill 3. Don't actually get your hopes up. And, well, in the end, But, I mean...
This is the thing, right? I mean, there are some elements of the Silent Hill franchise that I don't like. And I'll actively say that I don't like it, but I mean, a lot of the times when I've said this, especially on Restless Dreams, what I mentioned in the past that I kind of didn't like Revelations, I had a lot of people, some of them were specifically admins from other Silent Hill pages, call me a hypocrite because I didn't like the film at all. I mean, am I not entitled to an opinion?
Exactly. I mean, then again, we're all part of one Silent Hill series, and I mean, we all have opinions,
True.
And I know that when you're a fan, you're gonna complain. And then there are people who don't give you ideas and other stuff. And then there are people who find you to be very, how do you say, annoying, I guess you could say. And then again, it's just how you see a person. And you can't really go up to someone and be like, you're so annoying because you hated Alex Shepard.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is the thing. I mean, we have those who will kind of just put you down for liking anything post Team Silent, but I think the worst ones for me are these extreme good people who put you down for not liking anything made in the Silent Hill franchise. And it's not like I'm actively saying, you like the Silent Hill film, you're shit. I'm just saying I don't like the Silent Hill film for these reasons. It's awesome if you like it, I don't, but it's when they get on you and go, you're an idiot because you don't like the film. It's like, well, you're as bad as the people that are saying you're an idiot because you like anything past Silent Hill 4.
Yeah, and you're also one of those fans who you're not like, oh my god, everything they've made in the past years is a piece of... No, you're not like that. And just because, I mean, I know people who don't like the first Silent Hill game. Shock, right? But I know people who have a hard time enjoying the first Silent Hill game. I know people who have a hard time enjoying the Silent Hill 4 game. I'm not going up to you and saying, oh my god, you are so stupid. No, I don't do that. And I mean, this also goes back to the type of fan you are. And as I mentioned, Whitney's fan, you can be a fan, did I say Whitney's fan? What?
Okay.
Sorry, I knew I said something good. As I said in Whitney's podcast, there's many things that make you a Silent Hill fan. One of the things is you can be very, very into it. You can say, oh wow, I like this and that. and then you can be one of those fans who, no, I hate this, I hate you. And that's not, I don't think you're going to be a true hardcore fan if you hate every little thing about Silent Hill. Well, then why are you even here? I mean...
Well, yeah,
okay,
then.
then.
You've also got to take into account you can't really be a true fan if you love everything about Silent Hill and just don't comment on its imperfections, because there is a lot of things wrong with the franchise. I think the definition of a good fan is someone who loves the game, loves the films, whatever, but is entitled to kind of, accept the imperfections of the series, because there is imperfections of the series, I for one
agree.
I for one don't really like Homecoming that much, but I'm not saying that anyone who likes Homecoming is a shit fan or anything like that. I just personally don't like it.
Yeah, I like Homecoming personally.
Exactly. I could go on all day about why I don't like Homecoming, but at the end of the day, everyone is entitled to their own opinion. And if you don't like it, then you don't like it. End of.
Exactly, and I mean, I'm a Silent Hill 4 fan, and I know people who don't like that.
Well, yeah.
And, I mean, Silent Hill 4, it's been a few years now since Silent Hill 4 first came out, and people are still going on, oh my god, you like Silent Hill 4,
yeah.
You're stupid, no, you shouldn't be,
Well, going back to earlier segments of the podcast, we kind of touched up on this about the Silent Hill 4 rants and the old fanbase wars and whatnot. That's still kind of going on today. It's over. I mentioned this in my Silent Hill fan raise that the Silent Hill 4 and the Silent Hill 2, 1 and whatnot kind of comparing is still active, but it's overshadowed by the we must kill the Tom rants on YouTube. But it's still there. There's still people saying, oh, you like Silent Hill 4, you're shit. So...
Exactly.
It's like, dude, this game's like 10 years old. Just fucking leave it alone.
And then there are also fans, I'm not going to use Book of Memories, but there are also fans who aren't really fans of the newer things. Yeah. And that's fine. And if you're not liking fans, like the new games, you're still a fan. If you just like one of the games, you can be a fan. And as I know, a few people have said to me, you're still a fan if you like one of the things. And this all comes back down to what type of fan you are. And as I said, you can be a fan anyhow. You can like the comics. You can like the games. You can like the movies only. It does not matter. So long as you enjoy being in the Silent Hill group of people, you're a fan. And you should not let people tell you, oh my god, you're not a true hardcore fan because you hate one of them. Like, people say to you all the time, if you're a true hardcore fan, blah blah blah. Everyone can be a true hardcore fan. You can like the comics and still be a true hardcore Silent Hill fan. But then again, I mean, it's gonna be hard to figure out what's going on in the movies and the games if you're not. But then, as I said, that's still how you see. And you have to give a little respect to the newer games and games you don't even like. Give respect, and that's how you become a fan. If you give a tiny bit of respect. And I mean, you can't just bash on everything the new creators of Silent Hill do, because that's just going down like, wow. You just give it respect, and you'll get respect back from the fandom, and that's how you become a fan.
I mean, Book of Memories, to state one here, people were kind of just calling the game shit even before they saw it, before they even played it. They were, it's shit, it's crap, it's going to be horrible. I mean, I've got Book of Memories, and the thing people need to remember is this is a spin-off title. It's kind of like in the same realms of the arcade or the mobile games. It's a frigging spin-off. People didn't get the knickers and the twist about arcade, but oh my god, Book of Memories, because it's on a portable, oh shit, It's kind of like, I remember when Book of Memories was announced, people were just going mental. Just like, it's a video game, dude. I mean, I love Silent Hill a lot, but you're taking this as a personal assault. If you're really such a big deal, just go and play the older games, You don't... Just stop it. You ruin it for everyone. Let people like what they want. So...
Yeah. I agree.
It's a shame, really, because I mean, there's a lot of great Silent Hill fans. I mean, the majority of people who follow my page, great Silent Hill fans. It's just when you get out of that kind of circle and you start trawling through YouTube and Twitter, you kind of come across these just these insane extremists. So it would be awesome though if people would stop referring to the Silent Hill film as Silent Hill 2 on Twitter though, because it's getting me confused half the time when I'm looking through stuff. But just a minor bother. But yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
So.
And that's going back. So I want to ask questions because it's a lot of fun. How do you plan to get all the Restless Dreams things getting through on your webpage?
What do you mean? All the Restless Dream things.
What do you plan for future things for your website?
Well, I mean, when it's out, essentially when it's out, the main thing for me is adding more content. And I think I want to be kind of heading in the general direction of implementing the Silent Hill Theories stuff on the website. Because, I mean, a lot of people who like Restless Dreams were originally Silent Hill Theories wikis fans. And I think it would be a disservice for me not to bring the Theories wiki back. Because, I mean, it's kind of, a lot of people do like the Theories wiki, and I would really like to get people using the Silent Hill Theories wiki because it's awesome. I love using it, and I love to listen. I love to read what people think about the game, and you learn a lot from different people's perspectives and stuff like that. So I kind of want to implement that into the website. I'm not sure how yet because there's going to be a shit ton of theories. There is quite a lot already. So I'll probably do the best 10 or something like that. But that is probably the next step for me, is implementing the theories wiki into Restless Dreams. And aside from that, I kind of want to get this. It's not so much content based, but currently the website runs perfectly on a website. But I've kind of been working
Perfectly runs on a website. Yes.
on the PC. Sorry, I was about to say on the website. Well, yeah, it's a fucking website, you idiot. But yeah, it runs perfectly on the PC. But I want to kind of optimize it so it's more it's more user friendly on mobile devices, because I kind of want to get people using it on their mobile phones and stuff like that.
I'll totally use it on my mobile.
Well, I mean, I've been doing I've been working on it, and it's kind of interesting, and it's going to take up a lot of my time, but I want to try and offer Restless Dreams out to as much as a wider audience as I can, really. But I mean, yeah, the first thing I want to do is once this website goes live, I'm currently actually, before the Theories, I'm doing a playthrough of Silent Hill 3. I started yesterday on the PC, so I'm getting a lot of screen caps for that. So I think they'll probably get all the Silent Hill 3 images up there because they're not on the website yet. And then I'll start implementing the Theories wiki stuff. So yeah, I'm hoping to get that in probably next month. But yeah, that's where the Silent Hill Theory wiki is going. It's going to be Theories wiki. The Restless Dreams website is going to be implementing the Theories wiki, and after that will be optimized for usage on such as the iPhone and Android device and stuff like that. So yeah,
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of wondering if people are going to use the site because it's not like a regular news site. Because I mean, the thing is, we have a lot of these Silent Hill news sites. We have Historical Society, Whitney's, we have Inner Fear, we have Silent Haven and stuff like that. We don't really need another Silent Hill news site because I, for one, don't see a need for it because I'll just use Silent Hill Historical Society as I always do.
Or Silent Haven, or, I mean, but, because I go on Tumblr a lot. Personally, I've talked to a lot of the fan bases, and they're really nice, and I love talking to new people, and so it's really cool to finally meet people. And then I'm excited for yours too, because first of all, I can find new things about things I've never actually known. And as you told me about the closer today, I've never known that before until, you told me. And it's really cool, and just to see other people who have I don't know, we can finally see new things about different,
Well, I mean,
things that other...
Yeah.
It's a new perspective.
Well, I mean, the Restless Dreams idea is essentially going to be kind of community-driven. The Theories wiki itself is a community, so it's just implementing that as a website, really. So yeah, that's where we want to differ.
And wow, yeah, I'm excited for yours because I feel like I love like people who start Silent Hill things. Of course, there's always gonna be the new thing, but of course, like it's gonna be cool because it's a new perspective of something else, and that's what I'm excited about.
Well, that's good to hear. whether everybody else is, I don't know.
I'm super excited because it's you two, and you're really funny, and I'm gonna troll you. No, just
I
kidding.
wouldn't say I'm funny, but I'm quite hilarious.
Oh, for the fans that follow you, you're gonna see quite a bit of me on that side. Quite a bit.
What is that supposed to mean? That's kind of okay. That's interesting.
Moving on.
So yeah, I mean that's pretty much the website in a nutshell, really. I don't think there's anything else to discuss about it. I mean, yeah, it'll be going live next week. So yeah, any more questions for me? Since you're asking me questions.
Nope.
No? Oh, is that it? I feel a bit upset. I'm going to cry now, I think. So.
Why is Rob so awesome?
I'm not awesome. Why? I'm not awesome. I'm just amazing.
Why is Emmy so awesome? Anyways, I'm done asking you questions. I've had a great interview.
Well, I mean,
so far.
To be fair, we've kind of covered everything. We talked about our favourite games. We bitched about the film. Talked about me raging and listened to me chant on about theories and stuff. So I kind of think we're done here for this week.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think we can end it today on this podcast.
Yes. Yay.
I don't know what we want to do for the next one. I don't know if we want to have a guest on. I don't know who we'd have, but it'd be cool to get a third in here.
Oh, a third, so I'll be back? Woohoo!
Well, yeah, if you want to be back, that is.
Yes, I'd love to do this. I'll be in the background. Like, I'll sit in the background and just sit there and listen.
Unless people are like, oh, that Emmy, you know. Oh, God, she's so annoying.
Oh, she's so annoying. Oh, well, you're going to stick with me.
So, yeah, we definitely need a third. I don't know who. Preferably someone who likes Silent Hill would be a good start. So, yeah. And speaks moderately good English. Even though I don't speak, I myself don't speak good English, but
I don't speak English too. If you've heard this interview, you've probably heard a few things I've said wrong.
Well, I don't know. I think you speak decent English to say.
Thank you.
It's okay. Anyhow, I'm going to leave it there. So thanks everyone for listening to episode 1 of the Restless Dreams in Comic Sans with me, Robert Lambert, and my good friend Emmy. So.
Hello.
Hello?
I should say goodbye.
Hello,
I'm going to make a new interview now. Yeah, but yeah. Thank you for having me, Rob. I had so much fun. And I'll be back next time.
See you later, guys.
Bye.
Okay, yeah, we've started. Yeah, I just pressed the button. Okay, right, 10 seconds. Hello, everybody. I'm Robert Lambert of the fan site Westward Jeans. Jeans.
In my restless jeans.
In my restless jeans. No, okay. I'm gonna start again after 5 seconds.
Hi, my name's Rob, and I'm part of In My Restless Jeans, where my dick's too big. Go.
Alright, okay, I'm gonna start again in 5 seconds. Hello everybody, welcome to the first ever... Yeah, this is good, isn't it?
Do you want me to do it? Hi you guys, welcome to the first ever Restless Dream podcast!
Okay, I'm gonna get it right this time. So, hello everybody, welcome to the first ever Restless Dreams podcast with me, Robert Lambert of the... Oh, for fuck's sake, I did it wrong, I wanted to do it... Okay.
What do you want to do?
I was going to say, hello everybody, this is the podcast Restless Dreams, and I'm Robert Lambert of Restless Dreams. No fucking shit. You just said that.
Alright, do it.
Okay. Hello everybody, I'm Robert Lambert of the Silent Hill fan site Restless